Hello Mercedes-Benz lovers. This car we've had for the last 4 years, and when we bought the car the sunroof didn't work, and we didn't care less because we hardly ever use them anyway. And the trouble with the sunroof is the lifter on the right hand side doesn't work, and it can go up, funnily enough, but it can't go back. And unfortunately the only way that I could see to fix it is to pull off the roof lining inside the car, so we can unbolt the whole thing and pull it out and then fix it. I'll show you what I mean. See, we can go up here on this corner, the lifter's working fine, but over on this corner the lifter is broken, and here's a piece of the lifter. That's why we know it's broken. And here's the reason why we're going to this trouble. We have a rust bubble here. Fix the rust bubble, we want to get the roof to go back. And so here we go, we're going to try and fix the, well, take the lining out so we can fix the sunroof. And as you can see, the lining is in really good condition. It'll probably be never the same again once I finish this operation. And the first thing we're going to do is unbolt the sun visors and free up this panel. Hopefully we'll pull that light out and everything, and we're going to pull the hand grips off. Well, I've undone the sun visor on this side, just some little screws there and a screw in that one. I've levered out the fitting up here, and you undo the tab here in an 8mm socket and undo a little nut on each side of that, the grips. So I'll just keep going. Well, as you can see, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just learning as I go. So with this, what do they call it, panel B or whatever it is, you undo the panel down the bottom, there it is there, and then you can spring that piece off. And you'll note there's little clips around the roof. Once you got this stuff off, like I've taken the grips off here, loosen up the panel here, and you can see behind the panel there's a clip there too. But what I haven't got around to yet, I'm only doing one side of the car first, springing it ready to go, is how to get the rear view mirror off. I need to get the rear view mirror, rear view mirror off, so I can spring it. You can see it's sprung there on one corner, but apparently there's two screws up here somewhere that you got to undo to get that panel out. I'll find out when I get there. Anyway, I'll carry on and do the other side of the car. So far, so good. Well, I just got the rear view mirror out, and I'm puffing because it's so tight. I had to go and research on the internet. It took all of a couple of minutes. And what you do, you grab the mirror and pull it to either left or right, and just give it a slight angle down, and with brute force and ignorance you can get it out. I'll show you why it's so tight. It has a spring mechanism and a ball joint, or a little knob each side of it, and so you've got to pull against that spring, and it is very tight. But anyway, we got the mirror out. The backing sprung, there's sprung, and up here, but this panel screws underneath the edge of the sunroof there, but I'll pop it out on the front now. We got that off, and unbolt it from up there first and see what happens. Okay, I undid that bracket that held the mirror, and as you can see this panel's just dropped down. Now I'm not sure yet, but along the top here, I'll just zoom in a bit, there's some nuts, and one of them down here is, you can see where the rust is going from the bubble up on the sunroof. Anyway, I'll probably have to undo them later, but first what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo these pins here. There's one there, there's one over there, there's a few of them, and around the different points around the car I'll undo those pins to drop the lining off. So let's carry on and see what happens. Right, I've undone those clips, and now what you got to do, you can see this rubber here on the edge of the roof lining goes into that channel around the doors, and you've got to pull it out. And I'm starting to wonder if the car will ever be the same again. Anyway, it's got to be done, it's got to be done. So I'm going to pull that off all the way around, hopefully get it back here somehow, and see if I can see some bolts for the sunroof. Rightio, I've folded this side back, and as you can see there's some bolts along the edge here. Zoom back out, and hopefully that's the sunroof bolts. They're lining up and everything, so I'll do the same on the other side, and I'll start unscrewing these bolts, see what happens. With these little clips that just hold the lining, I just used a chisel, you know, with the rolling edge, just to lever them out. They come out pretty easy. Okay, with my 10mm socket I'm just undoing the bolts I can see for now, and see if that makes the thing come loose a bit, but I'm sure there's bound to be bolts on the rear and everything, so it might be pulling it further down. We'll see what happens. Next I'll undo the bolts around the front edge, and we'll hope there's no bolts on the rear edge, and I'll see if I can get it to move. Well, I've been struggling with this rear panel here. I've got to get it off, so I went up on the internet and I've been trying to pull forward, and they say push it backwards. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. Well, I'm buggered if I know. I tried to get that this panel off, and I went, oh bugger this. So what I did, hang on, what I did, I unclipped the thing, bowed it, bent it and pulled it out, and now I'm just undoing the nuts on either side. You can see I've taken them off that side, and I'll just unscrew whatever I can find and see if I can get the sunroof off. Here we go. By the way, this is the panel. It's alright, didn't get damaged too much. A bit bent there, but I'll straighten it out when I come to putting it back on. Well, I got the sunroof off. See, these bracket things go on the leading edge, and you've got to push them right back to free them, and that was a bit of a bummer doing that. Anyway, I'll go see what the damage is on the lifters. Well, I've taken off the mechanism for the lifter, and that's my new lifter, and this is my old one. As you can see, there's a few pieces there. This is the one from the left hand side, and it's never been lubricated or anything like that, and that's why the thing is stuffed up. But unfortunately there's a bar that goes across these guys, this bar here, and I think it's just a weather strip, but as you can see this end has an arm this end doesn't have an arm. So we'll live in hope that the thing can drag up and down. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a little bit of grease on the joints. I'll put some WD-40 on it, free it, put some grease on, hope the stupid thing works, and put these back on the car and try it with this broken strip. I don't know where I get one of these from. By the way, this thing here cost me 396 or something US dollars. Our exchange rate is awful. You add another 30% on that for Australian dollars, and then you got the packaging, shipping. I went and after I did this, I thought I'll check again, and guess what? I found a complete repair kit in Turkey, in the country of Turkey, for $99. What a bastard, eh? A complete repair. It comes with all the little bits and pieces of rubber and shit. Anyway, there you have it. So I'll just try this. Okay, I've put the lifter arms back on, and I tried to patch up that broken piece of plastic. I think it's a weather strip thing here. Makes some awful noises, that weather strip, but anyway, it's working. I'll run it up and down, it's greased. So let's see, I'll put the sunroof on and see what happens. There's a front bracket which slots into the sunroof here, and what you have to do is drop it on an angle like that and drop it in. It's got a slot there for it to drop in, slide forward and then push back. Good luck. Well, miraculously all the lining is back up in the car again, and but this is a story. I couldn't get that rear panel off, so I gave up with the lining, bent the sunroof lining and managed to get that out somehow, in the lock position even. And anyway, the sunroof goes in and out, up down. Isn't the up down a load of crap? Who cares about that? You just want to go in and out. The other thing I found was the this bit of rubbish here. I don't know what it does. Bug deflector or something. There's arms that go on the edges here. They're broken. I'll show you one. Here's an arm. It goes in here. When the sunroof slides back, it pushes down that arm and pulls this bit of garbage down, and the sunroof goes over it. And I'm not going to worry about this, replacing that bit of junk. Matter of fact, I might pull this thing off. I don't think we need it. But anyway, the whole reason of the exercise is this rust bubble here, and now I can do something about it. And that's it for this show.